Hey, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's TGIF. Oh man, do I wait for these TGIFs nowadays? Don't ask me why. I didn't years ago, but it just seems to be so pleasurable to come to a Friday anymore. It's just very enjoyable. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's I have no idea. It just seems like weekends seem to be more relaxing than they've ever been before. So it's like, woohoo. All right, let's get to the chat line and see what's going on here. And let's see. And the beat goes on around here too, in the sense of, they're still working on the end of the election, and it's one of the more stranger events. Remember, I'm a political hack, so I kind of know the inside game. So it's even worse. There's a lot of crazy going on. Um, you know, I can say that I've had some, I guess, opposition political people talk to me, and they're running very scared. They're very upset. They think that their world's going to come to an end. So the Democrats are very nervous, very odd. For someone that they're marching around thinking that they've won an election, they seem to be extremely scared. But anyway, that's the way it goes. We're trying to figure out the markets here. We're trying to figure out what makes it go up, and what makes it go down. And so there we are. Now let's see what we got here this morning. I see some names. Everybody saying hello. There's someone that hasn't been in a while. ICF Farkas. Howdy, howdy. And Raza Hassan. Hey, please suggest gold trade for today. Okay, let's take a look at gold. All right. As you can see there, to start off with, let's see what like there. You can see that the dollar is almost like dead. Let's see if we can move it over. Look at that. Right. No, where is that? We'll get this going. I guess we were looking way out here. You can see the dollar is dead. So let's go check out gold, because gold is an alternative to the currency. Let's see, where do we go? Right here. And let's see what we got going on. Let's see what our math says. This has been, since the coronavirus cure came out, it's kind of a little weird. The media keeps on treating it a lot different. Two different pharmaceuticals have come out. Janos, how you doing? It's a different Janos, of course, not Janos from Dukascopy, but Janos, hey, how are you? So since the coronavirus cure has come out, and that was about 2 weeks ago now, you can see that gold has been kind of stalled. Doesn't have any real clarity. You can see our math right here. Let's make that a little bit bigger too, and we'll put it up on Forex at the same time. Right there. As you can see, let's see, we move this over a little bit over the top of the fact check spreadsheet like that. And then we'll go like that, and see, we move that over a little bit. Well, what can we do there? We'll just go like this for the time being, and move it down a little bit. There we are. And not disrupt the fact check spreadsheet right there, like so. All right, now you can see it a little bit better. All right, so let's take a look at the gold again. You can see, like I said, this particular situation's been very odd. They came out with a cure. Two different companies competing came out with cures. Trump's warp speed thing really did a really great job. A third one's come out over the last couple of days. One came out last Friday. I guess 2 days ago, something else came out. They've got like 3 or 4 remedies now. It takes care of people over 75 years old, have a 96 percentile, which is like incredibly greater than the average virus now. The flu virus. They only have a 67% accuracy rate. So, I'm not really sure why the virus is being treated the way it is, but they're treating it like it is. I don't know. It's strange. And at the same time, when you look at the amount of deaths in the United States, I notice, you're going to say, what's this got to do with gold? Well, obviously, people run to gold, and what makes it go up or down is the desire to be hedged or protected. And so why gold is backing off in here and stalled is because there's a cure out there. There's like 3 or 4 cures now for the virus. And they're making it to the stores and the whole bit. And the government's paying for over 1 million doses alone for free. is it a million or 100 million doses for free? 100 million doses for free. That's amazing. And so I'm not sure why the media keeps on hiding it. It's really weird. I said it to somebody 2 days ago, and they were like, I haven't heard of it. I said, what do you mean you haven't heard of it? It's been all over the financial news for weeks now. And so, no, we haven't heard of it. So I don't know what's going on there. It's some weird stuff. So, Hassan, you want to make a trade in gold. What kind of trade do you want to make in gold? Is that a day trade? So suggest a gold trade for today. So you want an intraday trade for gold. All right, well, let's go take a look at it on a much more shorter term view then. Let's see, right there, is it? Yeah, let's go like that. And we can go, do you like hourly charts or do you like contract charts or what do you like? Tell us what you like and we'll try to make it convenient to the way you follow it. And let's put gold in there. There we are. And that is the deck gold right there. And there it is right there inside, looking through the eyes of our mathematics. This is an intraday. We just remember my math is so was designed for the deal with the Higgs boson that when sometimes you start it, you have to expand it dramatically. It's like, what? What's going on here? So where is the indicator? Where'd that indicator go? Indicator. There it is right there. Super 5. Why are we not seeing it? Is it still that small? Oh, it's waiting for data. Okay. Let it fill in the data. Okay, that'll be fine. And so we'll take a look at that. My indicators, we have two indicators we use. We have the Chicago Quant proprietaries that I've been using for I developed 43 years ago as a student at Hatfield in Hertfordshire, and that was the deal with the Higgs boson. And then when they created what do you call it, listed options, I moved into the financial universe and put the math to that, and it worked out very well. And so you can see here, this is an hourly chart, and I don't trade with hourly charts, but a lot of people do. I do deal with tick charts and so forth. I'm more of a spatial person. I do contracts and ticks. It allows volatility to be commingled with price. And then over on Forex, we use two moving stochastics, which is relative to each other. We use the your basic relativity concept of two observers and how one functions relative to the other. And so we use a slow-moving stochastic here and a fast-moving stochastic, as you can see here, right there. There's a day chart. And you can see the white line. When a white line breaks down, you can see gold breaks down. And when a white line takes off, you can see it tries to take off. And we're using Hinky-Ashi bars there. So that's a public one. It emulates my mathematics about anywhere from 68 to 72% of the time, which is pretty cool. So 4 hours. Let's go to 4 hours. So let's see what 4 hours looks like. And that was the last thing we looked at 4 hours, and that was the Euro New Zealand. So now let's put in the gold and see what it looks like. Gold. And so you want to make a trade today in gold. Cool. And there it is. There's the 4 hour. You can see in the 4 hour, going back, that's where the cures, it was more than one that came out that were approved by the FDA, which was amazing. It's not just that they declared that they have them, but they're approved and people are using them. That's how that works. And so since then, you can see gold is really chilled. And it really hasn't broken down, which is kind of interesting. And I guess if we widen that just a little bit like so, you can appreciate it even more. So you can see here, when the black histogram and the white line break through our zero line, it's a buy signal, especially with a green dot or no dot, one or the other, but not a red dot. And then the little green and reds emphasize volatility coming. And you can see where gold ran to from 63 and ran from 68, is that 66 and change, all the way up to 86, I guess it is. No, 98, almost 1900. So that was about a $32 move in a 2-day period. And then you can see right now we are flirting with the weekly sell. You can see we have a red dot developing at the moment. We about was that 3 times 4 is 12. So 12 hours ago, we slid into a daily buy here at the 63 area, and then over the next 4 hours, it ran up to the 68 area, and then fell as low as the 63 area or 59 area again. And now we are flirting with a weekly, a intraday sell in the 4-hour chart. But still, notice that, and let's widen that so you can see this more. And you can see that there. The histogram is still plus. It's broken the time manifold on the plus side. The white line has. And it's trying to break down, but it has not broken down yet. Now you can imagine, you see this one right here where it tried to do it. And then they had this nice big washout. And then turned it back up again for another 20 some odd hours. And then when it broke down here, you had your weakness. And it kept on trying to lift, and it got through here, and you had your lift again. So, our 4-hour chart does a fine job with our mathematics. Right now, I would say that if you're thinking about if you're in a position, right now our math is saying that it is still in the up direction. That's what that's showing, because those 4 bars right there are in a plus, and the white line is above the 0 line right here, same thing. And so it's telling us that it's trying to lift, and at the same time we got our little volatility signal that there was some action coming, and it did, and it's gone up in value, and now it's flirting to try to break down. So I guess, let's see, when does this expire? 10 o'clock my time, which is 2 hours and 17 minutes from now. So, we'll see where it's at 2 hours and 17 minutes. I would imagine just for you, I would say that if it's trading below these lows right here, that is probably breaking down. Just a wild guess. And if you use a J4X, you can try to put your 4-hour into that using the same tools. Let's see what it looks like right there. We'll make that larger too and see if it gives you the same flavor. Put the Hinky-Ashki bars on the 4-hour chart. You can see right here the white line is way up. You can see when it breaks down here, you do get some selling. So same thing here. So I would recommend going to your J4X and doing that, and I'll give you there's the parameters. Let's give you the parameters of it. Let's see, edit indicator. So there is the fast D. That's all we're looking at is the fast D, and it's a 5 and a 3. And then and it's competing against the slow D. And you can see it's a 5, 3, and a 3 here, and that's the slow D, using the low and the high. And then the purple is the CCI. You can do the edit there, and it's a 14. And cancel. And so you could use these and the Hinky-Ashki on a 4-hour. I wonder what a 1-hour looks like. Let's see what a 1-hour looks like. And you can go to your J4X and try to utilize it there. Like you can see here, when it broke down here, there was weakness. Now this will correlate with about a 70 percentile to our mathematics here on my work. It will correlate about that high, about 70%. So that's not too bad. If you're by your lonesome and you don't have anything else, it's a good tool to use. AR, yo dude. Dude, it's Adele. What's happening? Yo dude. Remember, I'm from that generation. We wore buckskins and and listened to acid rock. So dude, I dig it. I can dig it. Yeah, we listened to acid rock. Nothing special. Okay, but it's Friday. We're all happy about, at least I'm happy about that. It's Friday. TGIF. And the action in the marketplace has been kind of a little lethargic, There you go. I haven't seen Mid-Hat 54. What's happening? Yo. Welcome to the hood, brother. Haven't seen you 54 in a while. I read the Dow Theorist. What do you think about that? Now, the Dow Theorist is Barron's idea, who created the Wall Street Journal and Barron's, over a century ago when the railroads were the communication system. And so they looked at transportation, and then they looked at industrial production, and then they looked at the utilities, energy. So it was a pretty good one. It's a little bit thinner now. I guess you could say there's a more modern one. Oh, you know what I just realized? I'd never looked at I'll wait for them to come on. But yeah, so the Dow theorist concept has some validity at times, but pretty much is kind of washed away from, I guess, in many ways, the transportations in some ways should be commingled with the online shopping and so forth. The internet commerce system. I guess that's the best way. It's not only shopping, but it's internet commerce. And I would say that, and you can see the Dow does have that. When you look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, let me just take you to a magical tour of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Doc's going to prep it first, put it up on the screen, and then I'm going to screen share it, and you're going to be able to look at it. And we're going to look at the stocks that are in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And so that will give you a clarity how they've become commingled into the combination of what used to be the industrials and the transportations and so forth. So here we go. And we're going to make this enormously large so you can get a better flavor for it. And here it is. This is from Barron's, okay, right there. And here's the Dow. Now you see the top one on there is 3M, and then American Express, and then you go to Amgen. Amgen's a Nasdaq stock. Remember, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was a marketing tool for the New York Stock Exchange and for the Wall Street Journal. And so now the next two stocks are Nasdaq stocks. You got Amgen, probably like the biggest biotech of all, and Apple, the largest company in the world, iPhone communications company, Apple Computer there. And then let's see, where do we go from there? Then it slides down, and then we go Honeywell's moved in, which is a really powerful software company. Then you have Intel. There's a third Nasdaq stock, and that's a major chip maker across the planet. And then you have Microsoft, the number one operating system across the planet. And then you have Salesforce, which is a major commerce company. And let's see, so what is that? So that's how many Nasdaq companies are there now in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is a New York Stock Exchange index, which is branching out. So you got one. Wait a minute, oh, here we go. We missed another one. Right in between Chevron and Coca-Cola, you have Cisco Systems, number one wireless networking system. Okay, encompassing the old digital equipment and the old compact computer. And I think that's the commingled of the three of them, right? Digital equipment and compact. And a lot of the AT&T technologies, too, at the same time. The old AT&T telephone system. So you have 1, 2. Let's see. So Amgen and Apple is 1, 2. You have Cisco is 3. You have Intel 4. You have Microsoft 5. And Salesforce is 6. So you have 6 major Nasdaq stocks. Now, when looking at the S&P 500, Apple is the number one stock in the S&P 500, and I believe Microsoft is number 3. I think Amazon is number 2, and I think let's see who else is in there. I'm not sure. Cisco probably is in the top 10, of course. So the Dow theory is become commingled into the Dow Industrials, and so here's the transports. The transports really are, still like, I'm not really schooled. I haven't paid attention really to the transports. A lot of trains with train systems are left. Airlines. Anything that's moving things, and trucking companies. And so, I don't know if there's a container company in there or not. You see United Parcels and Federal Express, I would assume, is in there also. Is Federal Express in there? There it is, FedEx right there. So that kind of commingles with the online commerce. And then you have your utilities here. Okay, so Duke Energy still exists. I was talking to somebody about that. Excel. There it is. Excel is independent. All right, interesting. So let's see now. What is let's see. 54 says, "I wish I had listened to you carefully a year ago. I could not have imagined that financial markets are so far from the reality to that extent. You were right all." Now, do I have to send you a check for saying that, or what? 54. That's a heck of a compliment. Thank you. You were right all along, Doc, and I was severely wrong. I don't remember exactly, but we were friends, so I remember that part. We got along very well. We had really good communications. So I've been wondering where you got to. Let's see. AR says major trends have 3 phases and an accumulation phase, a public participation phase, and a distribution phase. Is that the Dow theory? Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, exactly. That sounds like the old Dow theory, and I really appreciate that. 54. Look, Doc has been in the markets for 43 years. As everybody can see with the fact check spreadsheet, let's reduce this a little bit here, and go back to the charts again. Let me see how I do that again. There it is, 2. There we are. We shrink that down. There we are. With the fact check spreadsheet, we document our work every day for years now. And so, combined with looking at our math, look at what is it? Hassan wants to do a gold trade. And here we go and show him our short-term work in his particular time frame. And you can see the accuracy of it. I mean, I just pull it out of thin air. So when you have a key like that, I was wrong. Oh, you were okay. You're from Canada, right? You're the engineer. Are you the engineer? Yeah, yeah. And look, quantitative easing. Look, to start off with, quantitative easing has changed the complexion of the marketplace. Okay. Now, I've been in the markets before there was such animals. I've been in the markets since for 43 years. Okay. I've been a member of every major exchange. I think when we go to my LinkedIn, let's go to my LinkedIn. I'll show you my background. And let's see if we can do this again. Let me go to the LinkedIn first, and I'll show you my background. And experience. So here it is there. Let's see. I'm almost there. Let's see. Okay, here it is. There we go. All right. So now, let's see. So we do this right, and then we go with that like so. And when looking at my background, if we can grab a hold of this, like so. Oh no, we got the wrong one there. Okay, so there it is. So when looking at my background, you can see it there. Former member of the Philadelphia Stock Exchange and the Options Exchange and the Currency Exchange and the Index. There were 3 exchanges there. There was a stock exchange, an equity options exchange, and a currency exchange. We used to trade options on cash currencies, and we were very successful. Then I was a member at the New York Stock Exchange, also at the same time, or in between, or something like that, with the options and indices and the futures. A member at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Also had a clerk's badge for the Chicago Board of Trade. I had a trader over there, and I would just be able to walk on the floor with a clerk's badge. And then I was a member at the Amex, and then the old CEC, where gold, sugar, cotton, cocoa, and all that stuff, and the dollar index and all that stuff traded at the World Trade Center, and especially in all listed derivatives and most technical analysis. Okay, so that's me. All right. So that's it's definitely a resume enhancer. That's for sure. All right. So let's go back to the charts. Where's the charts at again? There's the charts. So when I have an indicator that is, one of my physics professors in college, I kept on trying to tell him I discovered a constant, and all he wanted me to do is finish off graduate school, and I was like, no, no, I've got to explore this, and you guys are not realistic about it. And I said, I discovered a constant, and it's an ether constant, and it measures moving objects on the surface. And when you have something like that for 43 years in the marketplace and have made 7 figures, 8 figures maybe? I don't know, 7 figures. Millions, hundreds of millions. What's hundreds of millions? Is that 8 figures? So when you've made 8 figures in trades, made that much in trades, okay, and use this mathematics for 43 years and using it right now live on Dukascopy every day and showing you, and yeah, I guess I can be accurate. I guess so. When 54, you say that's the truth. You're right. I've given you a good reason right there. The pedigree, I guess you could say. All right, I'm done beating my back. I've sprained my elbow, patting myself on the back now. There we go. I was a dollar bull and thought the markets were severely overvalued, and I was wrong. Let's see exactly. Okay. So engineers make the worst traders because no, that's not true. We rationalize. I have friends on the trading floor that were engineers. Dartmouth engineers and Princeton engineers and Drexel engineers and so forth. No. They don't. You just have to be using the problem is remember what they used to say in computer science. We used to say this back in the 70s. Garbage in creates garbage out. Okay, so in other words, whatever data you put into a program has a reflection on what you're going to receive from it. Okay, and so if you're using bad trading information, you're going to get in trouble. What's AR says, Doc, is it necessary the study of support and resistance levels, price patterns, trend lines, moving averages? I can tell you this, AR, 42 years ago, not much, but I can tell you for a fact that today and last week and next month probably, yeah. I mean, markets really drift to these things now compared to what they used to do decades ago. They really do, and they do it consistently. And I watch it day in and day out. They drift to those numbers, and it's a commingling of, like I read, and I'll tell you why I think it happens. I was reading a story. I guess it was about, it was in 2009 or 2010, that 30 some odd % of the people on Wall Street had never seen a bear market. Okay, and so that's a lot. A third of Wall Street never saw a bear market. And so then I read the same group doing the same analysis, in other words, a statistical analysis of the people who are on Wall Street. And after the slam of this February, March from the coronavirus, they say that only 30 some odd % have seen a bear market now. So it's over 60% who have really never seen a bear market. And so, and the only bear market they saw was the one in 2008. So those lines, the supports, when you look at the way they treat them, like look at here, you can see back on the 11th, they bounce off of it. This is the gold in the 4-hour parameter, And you can see they make the lows here from the discovery of the coronavirus, the two drugs that now can cure the pandemic problem. And you can see here they turn it into a support, just exactly what you're asking about. And at the same time, you can see here they turn this into a resistance area. And so, yeah, money kind of follows that now. See that right there? Let's put a big, thick black line in there like that. So you can see that money pays attention to that stuff. They sell highs, they buy lows, they trade channels. See it right there? Now you can see my math is able to pick up on that. It's able to read it. There's no doubt that was a wild little move there. And my math drops down, comes back up again, and then gives you the good sell-off. That's that. Where's that part? That is the, where was that? That's part of the Dow theory thing, the 3-phase, AR. That is part of that 3-phase thing right there. I'm highlighting your where it said major trends have 3 phases, an accumulation phase, a public participation phase, and then a distribution. In this case here, the distribution would be the shorts getting out. The shorts basically selling it hard, and so you can see here there's like an A, a B, and a C, and it sells down. It's there. The Elliott wave people like to call it a W. They like to call that a W and an X or a Y or something like that. And so there's I want to give you a classic expression, and that is self-fulfilling prophecy. So in other words, money follows old rules. And I was talking with somebody in here, was it UAR, about reading John Murphy's books, right? And so what the young traders are doing nowadays, and you can see with that young trader, I'm digressing now. Let me stop there for a second, and I'll go back to that thought. But you can see with young traders reading the old technical books, they're taking them very serious, and they're using them. And so money is chasing those concepts. And like I said, 42 years ago, when I started in the markets, and 43 years ago, 44 years ago, nobody cared about those things. They used to call it voodoo. I said this yesterday or 2 days ago. They used to do these surveys, and people would say, money managers would say that they use like technical analysis. Like 7% of them would claim that they use technical analysis, and 14% of them might claim that they use technical analysis and fundamentals together, and then like 86% were all fundamentals. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's see. Volume should expand or increase in the direction of the major trend. Yeah, volume is hidden now. That's the problem, is that they unlawfully trade nowadays. So in other words, black pools and there are 46 or 47 ECMs, which is exchanges now. So there's not like the old days when you could trust volume and it was all on the New York Stock Exchange floor or the Nasdaq on the pink sheets. That volume now is distributed over 46 or 47 exchanges now, and not counting black pools who are trading as an exchange and not disseminating the execution. And so the volume that sometimes doesn't come in until the next day. So it's a real major problem, because the Securities Exchange Commission and the Commodities Futures Trading Commission condone this illegal trading all the time now. They need it, because since 2008 we've lost anywhere from 50 to 75% of our volume. There was so much damage done. Remember, we lost Merrill Lynch. I did this a couple of days ago. I went through the litany. We lost Citibank. Merrill Lynch is owned now by Bank of America. I mean, it's gone. That was the number one brokerage house. They were supposed to be the geniuses, blah. And then you lost Citibank. Citibank's owned by the Federal Reserve, still trading at bankruptcy levels, and they had to do a reverse 10-for-1 stock split to make it look like they're healthy. So in other words, their stock was, if you compare it to where it is now, trading in the 40s, used to be a $670 stock. So, a $670 stock is trading at $40 a share now. It ran up to $60 a share. I mean, that's bankruptcy levels, basically. And so you've got Lloyd's of London, gone. That was a insurance corporation / insurance exchange. They are owned by the Exchequer now. You've got Bank of Scotland, owned by the Exchequer. You got HSBC, owned by the Exchequer. You've got Santander, owned by the Spanish government. You've got Deutsche Bank, owned by the German Federal Reserve. And then you could go into other and smaller entities. Bear Stearns is gone. Lehman's gone. I don't know. There's probably more I can think in my memories. I mean, pretty much most of these things are gone. J.P. Morgan is now a bank, which was always an investment bank, which was a different animal. Now it's a bank merged with Chase, and they're the largest bank in the world now. You have Goldman Sachs is a bank now. It used to be an investment house. So you know, and proprietary trading desks are pretty much almost gone. They don't exist. So what's happened is that we've lost 50 to 75% of our volume. So I say, 54 says it went down to $1 price in 2008. Yes, you mean Citi, right? Yeah, I saw it $1 and change, right? Exactly, and now it's trading at $4 a share. Really? Where's Citi nowadays? Let's go take a look and see where Citi is. Where is Citibank? Where can we put that? Let's go to my trade exchange. And let's make a copy of that, and then copy window, and let's put Citi in there. It's funny. I think they have the Chrysler symbol now. C used to be Chrysler. Chrysler's gone. General Motors is gone. They're new corporations. Okay, so the stock is trading at $5.21, really, not 52, because you have to remember, then if it's 52, then the all-time high is 670. And we always say that bankruptcy is basically between 2 and 3.5. For a corporation that big, that's really a bankruptcy thing. I had known Lehman closely. I thought they were the smartest people in the world. Nah, Funk was a dope. They're salesmen. That's all they were, salesmen. The world was amazed to see them bankrupt. No, I wasn't amazed. I was told ahead of time they were going to go bankrupt. There's a difference in Wall Street. There are traders, and then there are salesmen. Goldman Sachs is built on salesmen. JPM was traders and institutional trading and investment banking. Lehman was salesmen. They did a lot of interesting IPOs and stuff, but they were salesmen more than they were traders. Lafferty and Company and Rothschild and Tobin and so forth. Some were traders. First Boston traders. There's a difference between salesmen and traders. Anybody who's putting IPOs out, they're salesmen. They're out hawking stuff. They're selling stuff. There's a difference. People don't know that there's a difference between there's two sides of Wall Street. There's a buy side and there's a sell side. People don't, everybody knows buy, sell, of course, buy low, sell high. But there are two entities on Wall Street. There's the buy side, which is proprietary traders that trade and eat their own cooking. In other words, they follow their own technical analysis and they follow the markets and they're doing things in a proprietary way for themselves. And then you have companies like Lehman who moved from the proprietary side to the sell side, and what they're doing is they're doing IPOs and they're selling to clients. And Bear Stearns was half and half. At one time, Bear Stearns was a real strong proprietary, and then they started moving into the sell side, and then they got involved in the collateralized debt obligations, and then they all of them got buried. Merrill Lynch they all got buried with the CDOs. So that really cooked them all. Doc, I held a gold. Let's see, Doc, I held gold at $275 forever. They told me a year earlier that gold will rise to 1,000 in a year. They were exactly right. Oh, you mean Lehman? They were probably trying to sell you coins or something. And I don't think, did it really go to 70? What year was that it went from 75 to 1,000? I thought it was like 500 to 1,000. MAG. Yeah, I hear you guys down under are into that. I heard that. That you guys are really big on the Trumper. Well, don't worry. Trump is going to be president in January, so it's all going to play out. It's weird. These are the globalist socialists that are trying to take over the country, that own the 6 media companies. They're not reporting anything at all. People are kind of stunned. They don't even know about the cures. I mean, anybody in the financial industry right now knows about the cures, and how it's being disseminated and being put out there. But the whole general public in America has no idea there are cures. PM, save the gold. Aussie, 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 Trump, Trump, Trump. I like that. He'll be there in January, don't worry. Let's see, about 2003, 2004. Yeah, I mean, that was a good move. Let's go take a look at it on J4X. Gold to me, interesting product. It's a, and the cryptos are starting to, move into that position, which is, makes sense. When you got quantitative easing and so forth, cryptos are truly a justifiable product. Yeah, you can see here. There's 2002 and 3. Yeah, okay, yeah, in the 200s and 300s, and what was it? I guess there's what's that? That's in 2000. What is that? 2007. It jumps to over like $1,200 or something like that. Yeah. And then they play it back down to the $600 area. It's a gold is always overall has done very well. It always is going up slowly, if nothing else. Will stock be? Let's see. 2000. Gen Sarah. What's that? Gen Sarah. What's that? What's Gen Sarah PM? And I'll take a look at whatever that is. Let's see. I'll answer Hassan while you're being able to disseminate that to me. Will stock be going high in the long term, and gold down? No, I don't think so. I think gold will stay firm. And who knows? It might see the 16s or 17s again, but it wouldn't surprise me if it even seen the 15s. Trump is going to when he gets back into sworn in January. We're basically going through 1775, 1776 here in the United States right now. It's a peaceful battle going on. Not much shooting except for Antifa and the Black Lives Matter. But overall, it's going to definitely power the American economy incredibly up. So, and I'll be the first to tell you if it doesn't happen. If it's not happening. But right now, all signs show that it will be happening. Let's see. 275 was the cost of digging the gold from the ground. I see. Yeah. I remember that. I would like to know about the crypto and Twitter and SNX. Do you know about that stuff? Sure. Yeah. Well, cryptos are, we have a chart on cryptos. Matter of fact, we just got another client at Chicago Quant watching the cryptos. Let me get rid of Citi here. I don't need a bankrupt company on there. Let's see. Let's go to the cryptos. Where is it at? Right there. And there's the cryptos. We're going to buy. You can see on the fact check spreadsheet. Let's shrink this down. On the fact check spreadsheet, we have where is it at? 9 weeks in a weekly. It's highlighted all the way across. 9 weeks in a weekly buy. 30 days in a daily buy. We've not been in a sell for over a month. Our math has been picking that up with no problem. Our math reads it all. It reads it all. So it's not as much as know about it as a member and a broker dealer and and so forth over the years. I know generally about everything, and if there's something I don't know, I know where to go to find out about it. That type of thing, Can crime hide behind cryptos? I imagine crime can hide behind anything, really. Criminal is criminal. They're not going to follow the law, so they're going to do their best to hide behind things. Too much free money in these digital money is going to the roof. I guess. I don't know if it's free money. I think what it's more of, it's like a pyramid structure. But Social Security in the United States is a pyramid structure. Actually, cryptos are much more cleaner than Social Security in the sense that the pyramid structure with it is a limited amount of cryptos, and people are buying it because they want to park assets there. And then when people go to sell it, there are more buyers than sellers at the moment because they want to park their assets in it. I mean, we did see in March, which was very disappointing. We saw, Bitcoin fall from the. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin. We can put it on the J4X here. We saw Bitcoin. Let's see, fall from like 10,000 right down to like 4,000. It was a disappointment. We were hoping that in a world calamity, Bitcoin would have a lot more firmness. But I think from that it has grown and learned. And let's see if we'll make it bigger again like that. So you can see here, this is a weekly chart, and you can see what they did in February. Here's January. So Bitcoin was, what is that? Yeah, Bitcoin was around 11,000. Was that 11,000? Right around there? 10,000. And it collapsed with the pandemic, or the, whatever you want to call it. I'm not even sure if you can call it a pandemic. Do you know that more people died in 2019 in America than they are dying in 2020? So if we have a pandemic, aren't we supposed to have like an extra million or something dead, or 500,000 or 250,000 or something? And we have less people dead this year than we have last year. And to be exact, we have less people dead this year than 2 years ago. So where is the pandemic? I want to know where the pandemic is, because we're not seeing it on the death side. We're just seeing it in the media, and that media is also telling you that Biden is a president-elect. He's not president-elect. You can't even be president-elect until December 14th. And so he's not president-elect. And normally at most they could say he's the presumptive presidential elect. Presumptive. That's what normally they call them. Why they refer to him as the president-elect and he's acting like he's the president, I have no idea. It's really weird. So the same media is telling us that there's a pandemic, but we have less dead in the United States in 2020 than we do in 2019 or 2018. So those years we had a pandemic, obviously, and they didn't tell us about it. And so there's more dead in 2018 and 2019 and less dead in 2020. So I'm a little confused on where the pandemic is. That's got me a little confused there. Now you can see here, it came out of that. That's that classic, what AR was talking about the supports and resistances. You can see here they came out of that low, which was down in the 4,000 area, and then came back up to the 10,000, made a support in that area, and now we are climbing into the 18,000 area. So that is very interesting, the action we're seeing in that. No car accidents. No, I know that there's less car accidents. Yeah, that's true. There are less because they're locking you up. But shouldn't, if you have a pandemic, wouldn't you think pandemic would represent, say, 1 million dead? How about 500,000 dead? Let's take the smallest side of it. Shouldn't we have 250,000 dead from a pandemic extra? So, it's kind of like a seesaw or a scale. If you've locked people up, they can't have car accidents, and so we have a lower death rate. Where's the pandemic then? If you have a pandemic, shouldn't we have, like, say, 250,000 more dead this year than last year? Wouldn't it be logical? I mean, you tell me. Am I crazy? Oh, yeah, Biden is a character. I mean, he can't, if you listen to him, he only comes out and talks, like, so far, every, 3 or 4 days. But when he talks, he can't finish sentences. He's breathing hard. He really is not healthy. No car accidents? Nope. Let's see. Thought Europe. Oh yeah, you see the riots going on in Europe? I mean, they're fit to be tied. They hate being locked up. I thought that euro was way overvalued and ought to go down, at parity with dollar, and the reverse is happening. Well, really, it's kind of been dead, right? Didn't you start off in the 12s or 11s? I texted you. I did everything I could to tell you that it's rising and we're in buys. I'm awake. Okay, cool. All right, good. I just was, I mean, something's illogical there, right? Pandemic means like disaster, right? I mean, you would think that's what the word means, pandemic, across the planet, people dying everywhere, people dead in the streets. They can't pick them up fast enough and they're laying there dead. And I don't see any of that. So now they're trying to lock us up for the holidays. Now they don't want us to be able to talk to our families. I mean, what kind of fascist bullshit is that? That's the only way to describe it, right? What kind of fascist garbage is that? Oh my God. The the tree in the forest example. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, it's whack, you know. It's whack. It is whack. It's crazy. And I'll be the first. I'll tell you, if I see signs that Biden is going to be the president-elect, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm seeing it. But right now, I don't see it. But the media tells you. But then they're also telling you that there's no cures. And we're seeing stocks ripping from it. I mean, stocks are at all-time highs. And if we're in a pandemic, how do you have stocks at all-time highs? None of it's making any sense. Let's see. Hassan says, agree with you. Fascist garbage. Now they gonna sell vaccine to whole world. Well, actually, Trump's got it set up where it's for free. He's got the vaccine. That's what Operation Warp Speed is. They're for free. He's got 100 million doses for free for everybody here in the States. So it's up to your country to buy them and give them to you. So, but here in the States, they're for free. I guess their money is seeing that Trump is going to be president. They sure ain't going to rally because, that the world is trapped in some type of pandemic, going to be locked down, right? That's the only thing I can figure. Money runs to, buy rumor, sell on news. So right now, the rumor is Trump is going to be president. The media says it's Biden who is president right now, but he keeps on trying to go to the GSA and get them to pay for things, Biden. It's really weird. It's like they keep on telling him, you're not even the president-elect right now. He says, yes, I am. And it's like, no, you're not. Trump's the most uncorrupt. Yes. Yeah, you're right. He is. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. He's a real estate guy. He was number one in his military school and realized that he wanted to make love, not war. So he didn't go further into the military after being number one at his military academy, a very respected military academy. And Trump's a lover. You can see it. He's got 3 gorgeous wives, and not at once, of course. And he's a family man. He doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs. He just screws. I mean, that's who he is. Plays golf, was a great athlete. He's still a great athlete. I think he's 73 or 74. He's in really good shape. He's a blue-collar billionaire. That's what we call him. He's a blue-collar billionaire. He's a normal guy. He's from from Queens or something like that in New York, And he's a normal guy. His kids rally around him. His company is really low in debt for the assets he has, which is really amazing. Someone was asking me last night about that, about his stock portfolio. I said, I understand he has a 5% of his assets are in stocks. That's it. He's not into stocks. He's in real estate. That's, there's guys out there that are in that. They love it. So, you're right, PM. They just don't. Or they're a bunch of globalists, socialists. They want to tell us how to live our lives. Live free or die, brothers and sisters. Live free or die. That's the way I look at it. Live free or die. And so, that's where it comes down to. And the markets, we used to say, free markets for free people. We used to say that all the time. Traders are into freedom. Traders are, especially the exchanges, were full of thousands of free-minded, live free or die people. We were traders. We were into trading and free markets. So our word was our bond. Things like that. Handshakes meant something. What movie's out there now? Oh, what's his name? D'Souza or something like that. He does some really good stuff. You're right. He's the most uncorrupt politician in modern history, probably. You're right. Hell, he's donated his pay. Every paycheck has been donated. He didn't even take a pay. 54. That's a really convoluted story overall. The Fed, the World Banks. The central banks across the planet. I talked to you about that last year and the year before that. they have taken over the position of investment banking, and they have propped up world markets. There's no doubt about it. And we talked about this. You cannot use fundamental. How many times did I try to explain to you? You cannot use fundamentals as a decision-making process to make investments, because exactly what you're saying, that the Fed is not allowing free markets to exist. They don't exist. We know that. They don't. And I've talked about this over and over and over again, ever since quantum. In particular, after 2008, it's gone. Free markets have been gone totally. They're all part of a structure. I want to say, like AR's been reading about, channels and supports and resistances. They support them. The central banks across the planet, and the Federal Reserve is obviously the leader of it. They're going to think we're family. 54. I mean, this is like a love fest for Doc, Look, I do wrong too somewhere along the line, but trust me, you can see all the videos for all the years I've done it with Dukascopy, and for the Swiss bank there. When I'm wrong, and I show it, and it's up there on the fact check spreadsheet, and I'm very fast to look. I'm a trader. I'm a data miner. I'm trying to find real information for trading. I'm trying to use my primer, my mathematical primer, my proprietary mathematics that you see over here. Talking about the markets, understanding the markets, and I can't do that anymore on the major networks. They don't want to hear that stuff, so I can only do it outside, through Europe. I can't do it through the United States anymore, and so you can see J4X. We've come up with some ways to emulate our math using Hinky ASCII bars and using the relativity concept, Al Einstein's ideas, with commingling against two different stochastics, and a CCI, So yeah, I'm as deep as a mud puddle. I'm as sharp as a bowling ball. Yeah, Hassan, it does feel like a love fest. So anyway, traders, I am here. I am here every day, and you're welcome to come back, and we can kick any idea you got, and we can look at anything you want to see. So this is Doc from North America. I want everybody to have a safe and a smart weekend, and we will catch you on the flip side on Monday. So happy trails to you until we meet again. Remember, I'm the singing trader. Happy trails to you. I'm the cowboy trader. Let's say happy to when we meet again.